You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation.
Spark a dream that we're meant to follow.
You're listening to the Extra Magic Hour, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider. Join the team in the studio as they bring you the spirit of Disney through park news, history, and tips and tricks to make your Disney Parks vacation even more magical.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Extra Magic Hour. We are Disney Parks Podcast, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider.com. I am Shawn. I'm so excited to be joined by my awesome team here to talk some Disney Parks news and rant and rave and a couple issues. And let's just see what we can dive into here. Let's say hello to everyone. Sam, how are you?
I'm fantastic, except for you didn't call me a podcast princess, so now I'm sad.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it.
Just kidding.
The podcast princess.
You didn't put it in your headline. That's why you got to put it in your headline.
Yeah, I didn't put that in my notes. I apologize. But you're good. Summer's going well.
Summer is going too quickly, and there's too much to get done, and not enough fun planned. So
okay,
but it's okay.
But you went to a fun concert last night.
I did. My Twista, Ashanti, and Ja Rule. Middle school Sam was living it up. No pun intended. Living it up.
Sam threw some slang on there. She said twista.
And then we are also joined by Cole. How are you, Cole?
What's up?
What's going on? Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yep. How are you? How's your summer going?
We finally are getting some heat. Not sure how I feel about it. I really liked the mild summer where you could open your windows in the evening time. Mm-hmm. But I think we're on day 3 of the air running solid.
There you go. We are. It gets hot here when the fair starts, and the fair started yesterday. It could be 30 degrees the day before, but when the fair starts, it's 110. So it's over 100. It will be through Sunday, which is the fair. That I think it drops back down. But yeah, it's just weird how every year when the fair is, even if they move the fair, it's still hot during the fair, but whatever.
Yeah. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. Well, welcome back. Good to have you in here. And then we got Lou, the Igernator. So we're recording this on Thursday, which is the day that Bob Iger's interview came out on CNBC. And Lewis has been giving everyone shit in our Discord and our Walt's Apartment chat about the strike, and there's so much stuff going on. There's so much stuff going on. It's not even parks related.
Are we going to talk negative tonight?
No,
a little bit.
No. I think both of our topics are kind of negative, but I think we could.
I'm feeling it.
We could put our spin on. We could put our spin on them, though. But yeah, so a lot of stuff going on there. We're going to talk about that next week. Listen for a special Undisputed next week. Lewis,
the battle of Sam and David versus Lewis. Writer's strike and SAG.
Oof. Lewis, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good. To answer Cole's question, I think we're going to talk negative, but we're finding the positives in the negatives.
Yeah,
to an extent.
There's negative stuff happening, but we're going to talk about it, and we're going to put our own extra magical hour of spin on it. Oh my God, that was amazing. That was so good. But yeah,
stop tooting your own horn, weirdo.
Yeah, but anyway, let's thank our Patreons. We have
Did AI write that for you, or is that legit?
Jesus. We have our Patreons: Tyler, Keith, Robin. Keith is spelled the right way now. Robin, Aiden, David, and Marianne, and Jennifer are Patreons. You can also become a Patreon. Just go on patreon.com, look up Walt's Apartment Podcast, join us. Join us on our free Discord through July 17th. And then we'll go from there. We're going to have some fun. But thank you, Patrons. We appreciate you guys. I want to get right into some parks news, but also Getaway Today is our sponsor and Where in the Park, which we'll hear about Getaway Today in just a little bit. But a lot of things happen at the parks. Summer is just kicking off. Disneyland, I know there's some closures and stuff reopening back up. And Tiana's restaurant might be opening sooner than they're saying. And in Florida, it's hot. Bill and Barry are in Florida right now, and it's hot there like normal. Do you guys... Before we get into our two main topics, anything you guys want to just touch on parks-wise that you guys have seen that you want to say, hey, this is going on right now?
I want the peace sign Mickey sweatshirt to get back in fucking stock because I want it. And I have been waiting, and I check Stop Disney every freaking morning when I wake up in the morning. That's all I have to say about it. And if somebody is in the Disney parks, could you please get me that sweatshirt and I will Venmo you?
Okay, that's fair.
That's all.
That's
and I want a large because I want it to hang really big. That's all.
Okay.
So Nicole needs a personal shopper.
Yeah, anyone that's down in LA or go to Disneyland, we need a peace sign Mickey Mouse sweatshirt, right?
I might know somebody.
We're calling out the people. If you guys know someone.
I have been on a hunt.
Are they in the park?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be there soon enough, but not soon enough.
You're going down for a getaway, right? In a month?
The 31st. Right. I got my Zero t-shirt ready. And with a little pumpkin in his mouth.
Are you going to go Disneyland with him the next day?
Yes, I am.
You're going to go on Haunted Mansion the first day it opens? Dang.
Woo!
All right. Yeah, so look for that. So there'll be some hotel tour at the end of August through Getaway Today. Nicole will be down there with the people from Getaway Today, and then in the parks on the 1st as well. So, Lou, anything parks-wise that you've seen besides our two topics that you want to kind of touch on?
No, not really. It's been, a lot of Fantasyland rides are closing throughout the summer, so just a heads up on that. I know right now most of them are open except Alice, and then Toads goes down for quite some time in a few weeks. So. Fantasyland.
I thought Toads was already down.
It's open, right? It was down and then it's open. Both Toads and Alice went down, reopened. Right. Alice is down right now. And I think Toads goes back down. I want to say, if it's not already back down, but I want to say they might be offset by a few days.
And then is Peter Pan back open?
Peter Pan is back open.
Yeah. And then also
Monorail is closing at Walt Disney World
Disneyland.
And Disneyland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indefinitely?
Just for refurb maintenance.
Yeah. I think at Disneyland it's closing because it goes, that the big pit out there in downtown Disney. They're actually building up right there, and it can't go by there with all the equipment. So I think it's gonna be. I think I heard at least a month, but there's no, like Danny said, there's no actual time frame of when it might come back.
Walt Disney World is just for a period of the day on Friday, July 14th for routine maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not only that, Disneyland's monorail the last few years has been kind of going down during summer because they don't have AC.
Right.
So they shut it off at certain parts of the day, which is
I think it's 90 degrees. They just turn it off. They don't run it.
Run Disney announced what their medals were for the Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekend. That's November 2nd through 5th at Walt Disney World.
What are they?
Figment and Encanto.
Oh, geez.
Wait, there's an Alice too.
Oh, there is an Alice. And it looks like a Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Lumiere. So it depends on whether you're doing the 5K or the 10K.
Is it Lumiere or is it Lumiere?
I always said it was Lumiere.
Lumiere. That's what I don't know. But it's crazy. And I listen to, Danny, who's Just Ask Danny, is a friend of our show. I listen to his show, the 5571, every Tuesday. And he just hits you with like park stuff. And like the stuff that's closing, it's crazy that, most people plan on going to the parks in the summertime, and it's absolutely insane and crazy that they've closed so many things. They've closed, I think, 3 rides in a matter of 4 days at Disneyland. They closed Splash Mountain permanently, and then the 3 they closed Peter Pan, Toad, and Alice because it all shares the same building. There's obviously something wrong with that building because it's all the same show building, which is why they had to close them all at the same time.
When I was there last, I don't even remember. It's been too long.
It's like 2 weeks ago.
It wasn't 2 weeks ago.
It was grad night. Yes, it was.
But Shawn, but Shawn, like when they close, so Walt Disney World, summer's not the busy season, like necessarily, because it's hot and people are like, I'm not going to Florida in the summer. So that may be the case for Disneyland, but for Walt Disney World, summer is probably the best time to shut things down.
Okay, that makes. I know Disneyland usually closes everything like in February and March, and they didn't this year. So that's just interesting.
What I was going to say is the last time, I think it was not so much, it was grad night, but the time before that, it is very hard to manipulate your way through the park when you have so many walls up and you have so many pathways closed, and then you have the rides in addition to that. And you think about like Peter Pan normally holds a 45-minute wait line. Splash is usually 90 minutes at that time of day. So think about just those two rides alone and the demographics that they host. It's stressful. And I'm not bashing. I will not talk bad, but it's stressful to go through the parks. It's stressful to not be able to get from like where you walk by the water where they do like Fantasmic, and the way they have it now, it's like the Pirates line, and you can't physically get over to the other side of that. You have to go all the way around, and it's like just even that little thing of its own, and it's just so condensed there. Like they really have to figure that out. But they just shouldn't close so much at one time. It's just too much. And
then the Matterhorn closed too, and that same for like a week.
The Matterhorn,
like in that same amount of time.
Opening back up,
but
like,
it's like a week. Just kind of crazy.
It was just too much. Too much.
So lots of stuff closing, lots of stuff reopening, lots of stuff happening in the parks, which is cool. Nothing yet on the Adventureland Treehouse. Have not heard anything about a possible opening date. Still, walls are up, scrim's up. They're working on it. It's coming down more, but I mean, walls are around Splash Mountain. Walls are around the French Quarter, which will become Tiana's restaurant. So it's a crazy time, but they're moving forward and doing.
They also got Soarin' that's down right now too in DCA.
That's not long though.
Is it really?
Yeah,
it's just a couple of days, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know if there's been a date announced when it reopens.
Okay. Well, so a lot of stuff's closed. Plan around that. Just keep an eye on the apps for whatever park you go to. But I do want to get into our kind of, we have two topics. The first one is Oogie Boogie Bash. Let's be real, it was a complete shit show. When we're not going to bash Disney, but we kind of need to bash Disney for not handling the Oogie Boogie Bash thing correctly. They started on one day. You had the Magic Keys were able to buy theirs, and then 2 days later, you had everyone else be able to go buy them. It worked for about 3 hours and then completely shut down. And they just said, hey, we'll come back to you on the 6th and let you know what we're going to do. The 6th came along and nothing happened. Oh, well, we'll come back on the 11th. And then the 11th is when they actually did the things, actually sold out of Boogie Boogie tickets in a day, which I don't think has ever happened in one day. Because if I remember last year, Cole, you were able to get tickets later after. I think you got lucky. You were able to get them.
I did, but there has been like the first year after COVID, but it used to sell out within a 24-hour.
And they added more days too. It's like 20-something days this year. Yeah. So Megan, who's always on our show, friend of the show, did a video on her TikTok. I'm going to play that, and then I want to discuss what she's talking about. Just get your guys' thoughts. Here we go.
We need to talk about something. We need to talk about something because I feel like if I don't talk about it, I'm going to scream. Oogie Boogie Bash tickets sold out on day one for the first time ever since its inception at California Adventure. If you got your tickets, especially on the date that you wanted, I am so excited for you. I'm so happy for you. But there were a lot of people who were waiting in the queue for up to 12 hours and they still did not get tickets. And for that, you guys, I'm so sorry. Especially because last night I opened my phone up to this. 4 tickets for $1,600. Oh, I'm sorry. I was hiding the person that was selling the same amount of tickets for $2,000. What is this? What are we doing? Have resellers lost their minds? I honestly wish there was a way to stop this. I really wish there was a system that could stop resellers from buying any ticket, but this is sadly what it has come to this year. And that's not even the highest price I saw on eBay. I'm going to address 3 major concerns here. First of all, I'm just so mad that someone would decide to take the place of another person who really wants to go with their family, maybe for the first time, to the biggest and only holiday event that the Disneyland Resort has every year. Just to steal those tickets and be like, nope, I'm going to sell them for 3 times as much. Concern number 2 is those tickets are supposed to be non-transferable. There's a good chance that the person who buys those tickets off of eBay will get stopped at the gate and won't be allowed in. That can happen. And concern number 3 is that those tickets just aren't real. Yes, I know eBay is a semi-trusted site, but there can still be scammers anywhere. So I am begging you, if you're even thinking about purchasing tickets from a reseller on eBay, stop that thought right now in its tracks. It's not worth it. Not only do I think you will get scammed, but the party legit is not worth that price. I promise you. Again, I am so upset and sad that this is currently happening. And I can only hope that there will be a system in place in the future that will stop this. And to all the resellers out there, you're the worst.
She's
we've not wrong.
We've had Megan on the show every month for like the past 2 years, and she's never been that upset about anything. So I mean, it's crazy.
And you can transfer them. We've transferred tickets.
Oh, you can.
Before. Yeah.
That's I don't even know where to start.
So I don't know if those have changed, but that really sucks, and I'm not surprised. And I mean, hopefully Disney for next year or moving forward is you do a non-transferable, and then those people don't take over like they have. But I feel like since the pandemic, Disney's not the only company to have this happen. Like every concert ticket that you try to buy, any event that you try to buy, like this is what people do now. Because and people will pay it, and people are stupid, and people get scammed.
The people who are paying are the problem.
Yeah.
Guess what? Yeah. If you didn't get tickets, you didn't get tickets. Make those people who didn't actually want the tickets eat their damn money.
I agree.
Because then they're going to stop doing it. Because now you just wasted money. Yeah. They need to eat the money, and they need to eat the consequences of being a jerk. If you're not going to use the ticket yourself, don't buy it. And if you do buy it and you're not going to use it yourself, I hope you get screwed.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, we've seen different things. I mean, when they
got a little spicy there.
No, it's crazy.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, though.
You know when they announced Splash Mountain closing, I mean, back a couple years ago. Remember, you saw the pictures in Walt Disney World. People went in and bought all these stuff like in 3 days. All of the Splash Mountain stuff was bought and sold on eBay. We went to D23 last year for Disney Plus Day, and they gave you Disney Plus ears, which I gave to someone. That night, they're selling them for like, was it $50 to $100? And people are, you saw that video she posted.
People were buying them, and we got them for free.
Yeah, that video she posted, you can see in the video, it says 16 people watching. What is that watching? That means that they're bidding on it?
Yes.
It means they're interested in it. They're watching what happens on it because they want to bid on it.
If I was Disney, I would be like, okay, they have to know it's happening. They have to see this. I'm sure there's a way for Disney to go to, eBay and say, who is this? And turn those tickets off. Turn this off, because that's ridiculous.
But is that their biggest priority?
No, it's not. You're absolutely right.
Disney already got their money.
They got their money.
They did. Sure. And I get it, but it's not just them. It's
what are you about to say, Igernator?
Yeah.
I saw a smirk.
It's frustrating. And this happens all the time, so with just items. I mean, we went to MouseCon in Bakersfield, and we were supposed to go to the first day of the 100-year celebration. We bought a water bottle for like $15 more than it was at the park, but it was there. It was convenient, so you did it. That person was down there made the time. $15 profit. That's crazy. But we paid it because we really wanted that. You know what I mean? So that's.
But see, that is different.
Is it?
To an extent. I mean, it's almost the same as like having a personal shopper get something for you because they have to. Well, I mean, the personal shopper is spending it. But if it's somebody who like specifically went into the park to get things, I don't know.
Yeah.
Also,
but it still sucks because they have a limited 2 popcorn buckets, and little Susie Q wants the popcorn bucket, but all of these fucking resellers go and buy this shit up, and then my little Susie Q can't have the damn popcorn bucket.
Right.
Yep. Like, stop being greedy. Stop it.
If you don't want it for yourself, you don't need to touch it.
Yeah.
It's not for you then. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
And I appreciate that's sad that Disney or any of those companies, it's just not Disney. Like, we went into a clothing store the other day and they had a quantity limit as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's sad. What if I wanted 50 black t-shirts? Don't judge me.
I get it. I mean,
I know most men in their late 20s, early 30s probably do have 30 black t-shirts.
Yeah.
Lewis, right?
I think I have 4 or 5 because you need to
almost 50 that have like 12 of them. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I know people that. Yeah, it's.
I own like one white shirt, a gray shirt, and a red shirt. The rest are black.
Yeah.
It makes
laundry easy.
It does really well. Laundry's easy anyway. Just put it all in together, so it's just really.
No.
I agree with Sean. I
haven't done laundry in like 15 years. So
I just started doing laundry 2 years ago, and it's just boom. It just goes into the thing.
My wife is a straight savage with it and a champion.
She is. Shout out
to Tiff.
Wife. Let's give her a moment.
The warden, that's what I call her. I really do.
That's what my dad used to call my mom.
Do you love her?
That's. I mean, but it's not to get on a side note. I think it's funny because like she's nowhere near that. So when people hear that, they're like, "What? The warden?" And then all of a sudden they meet her like,
she's like the sweetest.
Absolutely, yeah, I did lie. Keeps you guys off percent. Absolutely, I'm lying.
You love her a lot.
Do you love her?
I enjoy her. I see what you guys should do there.
If you don't know, Lewis hates the word love.
Great.
I'm just kidding. He doesn't.
I hate the word love, and Iger was right.
He uses the word love sparingly because he wants it to have potency behind its meaning when he does use it. He told us he loves us today, and I almost cried.
Yeah. All right, Lewis, really quick. You haven't commented, and I want to hear your comments on this before we move on.
I don't see nothing wrong with it. I really don't. I don't. And this is why. Because
what the fuck?
Oh, you're kidding, right?
No. Because like you guys and kind of saying it, if people want to spend that money, like we live in an economy where it's like, dude, if it's cheaper to flip $300 for $1,500, I'm doing it. I mean, as horrible as it sounds, I get it. It's bad. But I mean, at the same time, Disney doesn't care because they're doing it. I mean, they're allowing it to happen.
It's not a priority. We can't blame Disney for this.
No, you can. You can, though, because if Disney cared, Disney Legal is smart enough to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, do you put your name when you buy tickets? And I've never been, so I'm going to ask this question: when you buy tickets, do you just pick quantity and buy, or do you punch in your individual names for each ticket?
You have to punch in individual names.
Okay, so then this can't work, which means those are obviously fake.
No, she said, but Nicole says she's
no, and I don't know if it's changed, but there was a time where you could go, like you could say, I physically can't go to this, and I would like to give it to this person.
See, every Disney thing that I've paid for outside of my Magic Key, I've never punched my name in. It's just quantity.
Oh, no. These you have to put your name.
And then when you go to the ticket booth, they take your picture. So, I mean.
Yeah.
So, Megan says it's non-transferable.
Yeah. I don't.
She did say, let me look up what it says.
So,
carry on.
So, yeah. So, I don't have an issue with it, especially. And let's be honest. Like, I think Oogie Boogie Nights is probably epic. But you know what's selling it? Is all these influencers. And I'm going to call some of them out, not by name. But are you really having fun? Or are you saying you're having fun to try to get on Disney's radar? I've dug and watched 1.5 billion YouTube videos and virtually watched it a lot. it does look fun. Does it look like I'm going to wait in a queue for 12 hours for a ticket? Probably not. You get to meet solid villain characters. You see some cool shows. The atmosphere is probably amazing. But what's making it even more sought after are all these influencers. How many influencers bought 3 or 4 tickets? If we're going to get mad at average Joe trying to make a buck, let's get mad at the influencer that just bought tickets to make YouTube to make money off that.
Well, a lot of those influencers probably had their tickets given to them. But
I mean, probably. But I think a handful of them, because you see them posting on the internet, they're waiting in line to buy more.
But here's where the Disney issue
It literally says, the number of tickets available for each event date are limited, and event tickets are valid only for the specific event date and hours. Parking fees are not included. Tickets must be purchased online and are not available on the day of the event. Limit 8 tickets per person per event date, and no discounts apply. Tickets are not required for guests under 2. Tickets are non-refundable and may not be resold or transferred for commercial purposes.
So Disney legal, if they cared, if Disney actually cared, would be all over eBay.
Okay, but here's the thing: we don't know that they don't care. We don't know that there's not something going on behind the scenes.
That's fair.
We don't know
buy
that.
those tickets, but like Megan said, if you buy those tickets, if you're stupid enough, I'm going to call you
That's
stupid.
on
Sorry.
you.
Yeah,
if you're stupid enough to buy the tickets, I hope you get stopped at the gate.
And that goes back to
perpetuating the behavior.
If you want to spend that money on that, then that's fine. But at the same time, if this is not allowed, then why has Disney allowed it to hit media, especially in Disney's era right now? You don't want that bad publicity that tickets are being flipped on eBay. Shut that shit down today.
And you know they can. It's
exactly.
Rights.
So for me, I mean, if you want to gamble that, by all means, do what you want to do. And the same goes with park merch. If you want to pay an extra $50 because you want that, then hey, that's what it is. But same thing too. These influencers make things seem way cooler than they are. I thought the Main Street Parade popcorn bucket was tight in the first photo. When I saw it physically, I was like, they over-exaggerated Pete's like accessories. He doesn't have a giant.
Oh, I think Pete's cool. The Pete bucket is cool.
I mean, that goes down to personal perspective.
Yeah.
But another Disney issue in this is you should not be waiting 12 hours in a queue. They need to figure out a better way to do that. Because if you're going to wait 12 hours in a queue to eventually not get anything, like Live Nation's figured it out.
Taylor Swift
No,
figured
they
it out.
haven't.
But the thing is, that's the thing is it crashes and then you're out. You're not sitting there for 12 hours thinking you still have a chance.
Yeah.
It's done immediately.
I mean, not only that, I mean, I'm sure there's ways. I mean, come on now. The biggest tech companies in the world, if you know you only have 1,500 tickets available, then guess what? The first 1,500 in your website are in. And then at that point, hey, here's pizza places you can call and say, hey, we're busy right now. Leave your number. We'll call you back. You can do stuff like that. There's so many ways that Disney could fix this. Yeah. But again, and we're going to talk about it tonight, I really think right now Disney their priorities are not on the parks 100%.
Yeah, we're going to.
Well, they're not in movies either.
Yeah,
or shows. So where are they?
Yeah.
So where are they, Lewis?
Huh?
Where are they?
They're on strike.
It's not on film. It's not on Disney Plus. And it's not in the parks. Where is it?
We can talk about that on Undisputed.
You want to talk about it being on Bob Iger's contract extension? Because maybe that's where it is.
Yeah.
Hey, on Wednesday's show, I was in disagreement for the extension, so I'm ready to talk about it. But this is the happy show, not this one.
This is the happy show. Yeah.
Okay,
So
we need some Disney magic.
We do need to flip it around here. So it sucks. Lewis thinks it's okay, kind of. I understand his point of what he's saying. If you're dumb enough to do it, you're dumb enough to do it.
Yeah.
If you're dumb enough to do it.
And if you are doing it, you're a jerk. And if you're dumb enough to do it, you deserve the consequences. Both people deserve the consequences.
If you get away with it, I mean, shit.
Stop perpetuating the behavior.
Yeah.
If you get away with it, please sign up for our Patreon and drop 30% of that.
Yeah, yes,
in here. We won't tell nobody.
You got free money for doing
literally
nothing. But the problem I have with it is that, and I think Megan kind of touched on it, you're taking away from someone that really wants to go.
You're taking away from Susie Q.
Like Cole, exactly, like she said, like Cole said, it's it's not a popcorn bucket, but it's the same thing. I mean, it's just what she showed. There was 8 tickets on. That's 8 people that don't get to go because these people want to be assholes and sell the money and make 3 times the amount. That's messed up. But in light of what Lewis said, I do understand that as well, that if you can do it and get away with it, I mean, I'm in a business where if you can do it and get away with it, that's what you do. And I'm not going to
slimy.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to
slimy.
But let's be real though. Any business is that way. Any business is here to make money. And if your business is to buy something and resell it.
I have a question. Have you heard of business ethics?
Of course. Yeah, I do it like an ethics training, like once every 2 months. We have to. But the thing is that I guarantee, and this is a whole nother thing. We go into like the whole business. I mean, Walmart shit is cheap. And you're paying probably twice as much for it when you go buy it. It's just anything is that much. Yes, buying a car is different because it's a lot bigger purchase. You sell a house, you're making a shit ton of money on that. So it's just anything. Business is business. I'm not defending anyone for doing this.
However, eBay resellers are not a business.
They're not?
They're also not paying taxes on that money.
That's fair. But yeah, I mean,
until they can give me their tax IDs, they can fuck around and find out.
We could go all night with this, but I don't think it's cool. I think 3 out of 4 think it's not cool. Lewis, I do get your point of why you're saying that. So.
I mean, I don't think it's cool either. But I mean, I'm not against it either. I mean, if the change needs to happen from Disney, the fact that
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, the fact that us 4 in this room can say that it should be the families and kiddos that deserve this,
right?
And Disney's not thinking of that.
We don't know. Don't speak for them.
But the thing is, though, is their kids.
But Nicole, it's happened multiple times. This isn't the first event it's happened for.
And if we're
so they didn't do anything before, they're not.
But we don't know. There might be legal stuff behind it. Like we complained because there wasn't a queue. They added a queue for tickets, and then we're 12 hours in. Like they're doing their changes, and after this pandemic, you guys, like shit is fucked up.
So if those tickets sell,
people are fucked up. They should not buy them.
But then is that not Disney not doing anything about it?
I'm just saying there is shit that goes on behind the scenes that may appear that they are not doing anything about.
Very
and
true.
they may be.
I mean, the consequence is going to go to
time.
The consequence is going to go to the person who buys the tickets. Mm-hmm. It's not going to go to the person who sells the tickets. They're going to get the money in. They're going to get it.
They'll be gone. You know, Nicole made a good point there. And
hopefully, though, they do have the numbers. They know who it's being transferred from. Mm-hmm. So those people, hopefully, they get permanent park bans.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Hopefully, they get the inability to ever purchase tickets in their names again.
Well, and it sounds like this whole non-refundable, they could be scamming on that eBay. They might not even be real tickets.
That's true too. Yeah. So we could just have this conversation all night, but Nicole makes a very good point saying that Disney, you don't know what they're doing, which is true. No one had any idea when Reedy Creek happened. And that's a whole nother topic. When Reedy Creek, when the state took over Reedy Creek, everyone's like, oh my God, why isn't Disney doing anything? All of a sudden, boom, Disney had changed shit behind everyone's back and no one knew it and said, we protected our ass and we didn't have to tell you our plans. And she makes a good point. The fact is that they could be doing this and I'm sure that Disney sees all these people's comments and bitches and complaints and says, she's right. Maybe we should check into this. And what is it? A couple minutes. Hey, eBay, this is Disney. Who's that person? Take it down.
Well, Disney doesn't even need to do that. They just need to see who's transferring tickets and be like, you transfer tickets, you can no longer buy tickets.
You can follow the trail. But I don't want to go the whole show on this. Well, I mean, because we could, obviously. But I want to take
We're a little spicy tonight on this.
I'll take a quick break. Learn about Getaway today. Nicole, do you want to just do it live since you're here?
Absolutely.
No.
Do not do that to her.
I'm totally kidding.
No.
Absolutely not.
I was like, I'm going to fight for her right now.
Script away.
You threw that script away. Okay, perfect. Here we go. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Well, hello, and welcome to Let's Get to Know Our Sponsor. Getaway Today has been helping Disney vacation dreams come true since 1990. Whether you choose to visit the happiest place on earth or travel to Orlando and beyond, they want to help you. Need to know the best hotel in the area? What theme park tickets should you buy? Have a last-minute change? No worries. Their travel experts are always here to help. Want to book a cruise and don't know where to start? Hey, they can help with that too. They will help you find the perfect cruise for your vacation, whether it is your first time or you're a well-seasoned cruiser. When you book your cruise with one of the Getaway Today's experts, you will have a dedicated agent to help you every step of the way. They take care of the details so you can have the most fun. Getaway Today has layaway, peace of mind travel, allowing you to cancel or make changes up to 72 hours in advance. You will always have the most up-to-date vacation information, both pre-arrival and upon your welcome. Getaway Today will guarantee the best prices with no hidden fees. And every time you book through Getaway Today, they will donate a portion back to a charitable organization in your area. And so far, over $4.5 million has been donated. So click the link in our show notes to start your Disney vacation planning for more information and the best deals. Tell them Walt's Apartment sent you. And until next time, enjoy the view from Walt's Apartment.
We really do love Getaway Today. They're awesome. They're the best.
Okay, so I'm doing some research on this eBay shit. And so far,
she's fired up.
I clicked on during, yes. I came fired up. I had like a really rough day. Like we've done some really rough things at work. I was called fat today, like literally a coworker. What the fuck? Yes. And so like I already came like feeling a little bit of a way, but and there's a lot of shit that I do behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And so I'm feeling very personally attacked for Disney. But anyways, all of these resellers don't have any like sales. Like they've sold 2 things. They've sold 50 things. Like 50 is the most. And currently there's only 3 sellers on here that are selling tickets. That's it. All the other ones have been taken down.
So and that's sold or just removed?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't see any that say sold.
Oh.
That like literally there's just the 3 postings.
Well, you 3 people are still shitty. 3? What's that?
So this whole thing got blown up for 3 sellers?
That's still Well, it's still 12 people that didn't get to go because these assholes want to take extra.
$2,600 for 6 tickets.
26.
There's one for $1,200 for 2 tickets and one for $2,000 for 2 tickets.
So I'm gonna go on the opposite.
$2,000 for 2 tickets?
So, yeah, and I don't think they're credible. Like these people, like the one has only sold 1 thing before. So
I see what you're saying. You went on that quick.
Like,
during the break
go on eBay and I look for those credible people when I go to purchase something. Like I have purchased comic books and things off of eBay, but I did research to find a seller that then I could communicate with and had a good reputation. These 3 people do not have a good reputation.
So I'm going to go the opposite end then. All right. We don't want to blame Disney. We don't want to blame Disney, but I'm just curious. How do we have the right to blame these people? What if they really can't go and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna try to make some money off this? How do we
$1,000 on tickets, $150
and like a week later.
I mean, hey,
a week, it was 3 days ago.
Hey, do we know? If we don't know if Disney's doing something of this, we don't know their situation. How can we be mad at them?
Basically, if I bought them and couldn't go,
if I bought them and couldn't go, I'm gonna try to make some money off them.
You're gonna find out within 3 days.
This is rape. This is not the same. I get like
I don't know if that's the same. I'm just saying.
No.
That was aggressive.
No. The thing is,
you literally have no lube and you were getting raped. Like this is not good.
Hey Cole, have you heard of Undisputed?
Listen.
This is not that good. However,
holy shit.
Hey, what are you doing Monday?
Okay, stop. Okay, so Shawn did say he wanted to move on from this topic, but
let her go.
But hang on. No, I love where Cola's going with this. She's right.
Absolutely.
She's right. But the thing is, Lewis, like what you just said is not legit at all. Because if you genuinely bought those tickets to go, you're just going to want your money back.
Exactly.
I have a friend who bought tickets to a baseball game, cannot go to that baseball game, is selling them actually at a loss because they just want to get back some of their profit.
And most of the time, like
that is ethics.
I would just give them away. Give them away.
How do you drop a comment about no lube and being raped and then go real nice about just giving stuff away?
Because
you're not having a great day. Yeah,
that is cold face. That's who I am.
Yeah.
That is who I am.
All right.
That is rape. That is I did
okay,
not
we need to stop.
Yeah.
I do not know if we can say that on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, that is something I didn't approve of. You cannot enter.
She does not consent. There's not consent.
Poor person that's like listening to this is just fucking triggered now. They're like, oh my gosh, just done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have to just click explicit on the play. This is very explicit.
Here's a red
extra explicit.
Wow.
Passionate. I'm sorry.
I appreciate the passion, and I agree with you. If you're gonna charge $1,000 for a ticket you spent $150. Yeah,
but I
get Lewis's point.
Cold face, I love you.
I love you so much.
I get Lewis's point on this. Honestly, I understand you. If you can, and again, this goes back to. I'm not going to get into my job.
I'm in the wrong business. I have 3 jobs right now. I just need to buy some fucking Oogie Boogie tickets and sell them for $6,000. Boom.
No, hold on. Get the research. Let's see if they sell first. They don't sell. Don't jump in this now. Yeah, come on now. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do some homework first.
All right.
So start with popcorn buckets. That's the big ticket.
Yeah. Start small.
Yeah.
For a 4th side gig. Here we go. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. I'm
all right.
with this right
now.
I'm
going to sell feet pics. That just sounds so much easier.
Nicole, what? The patrons can all see your feet.
The patrons get to see this. So now, if you want to buy pictures of Nicole's feet,
I mean, I'm just saying.
Let's just hope the Patreons they get past what we just talked about. If they make it this far, there's some chance.
They have watched me like heavily drink for a year, so I think they're fine.
Okay. All right.
The last episode of Marvel Tribe. If you didn't get to watch that, you got to see Sam in goth makeup. So if you join Patreon, you can go see that.
Okay.
This week you can go see Nicole's feet. So we're just offering up we're serving up all the looks.
Lewis, what are you offering up?
Hey, I'm a truffle shuffle on Monday. Yeah. Just do like a finger painting of the Disneyland castle on my belly and just be like, yeah. I'm just kidding.
Christ.
Fireworks on my man boobs, so it looks like a little show.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can we please move on to a different topic now?
I don't know, Nicole, can we?
I don't know. Can we, Shawn?
Okay. That was great. I did not expect that to go that way. It was amazing. But I want to talk about something else. We talked a little bit about it on the show last night. Got a couple of pictures here. If you're watching, you get to see this. If not, you saw the live, or we might put these pictures on our Instagram pages. But so here we're looking at a picture of 2 Goofies in Disneyland. And someone said they know where is this?
That is outside the Disney Junior Playhouse, right behind Carthay Circle. So when you're going down Hollywood Boulevard, it's on the right-hand side, the Disney Junior Playhouse.
Are you sure? Because that looks like the store in right there behind it.
No, if you look at the line queue behind it, that's the TVs behind it where you line up.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So there's 2 Goofies in a picture. Basically, if you don't know, the characters at the parks go for about 20 to 30 minute shifts, then they switch out. Someone got a couple pictures of the Goofies actually switching out. One of them, there's actually handlers on both of these pictures if you look at them. So it's kind of crazy. Last night, Amanda from Where in the Park said, don't think they are Photoshopped.
They are not. I know the person that took them.
one looks more the last one.
This Goofy is literally running. This Goofy is literally running out of frame.
And it looks like here that this Goofy realized, hey, I'm not supposed to be there. And then the other picture is like them running back, like this one running out to get out of the way. Mm-hmm. So this isn't supposed to happen. Brings up the question yesterday in our chat. There goes the magic. And Sam, out of who I wouldn't expect to say this, there goes the magic. You know, the magic's gone. The magic's not gone. They fucked up. And and if you're looking at this, that's the way I feel about it. Shit happens. Cues get missed all the time, stuff like that. And you said that your Imagineer feature has to do with this as well. So
it does. But I wanted to say that it's not like necessarily the magic is gone, but it ruins it for children.
Oh, of course.
For a child to see that, a child who believes that these characters are real and they are not just performers, they're going to figure it out then. And it takes away a couple more years of magic that they could have had.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's what I meant by the magic is ruined.
Sure.
And it was, so this is why I decided to do like this whole Imagineering feature on the costume shop, because people are always like, Walt would be turning in his grave about ticket prices. No, Walt would be turning in his grave about something like this happening. Like that's why the utilidors were installed.
I was just
he did not want characters. He did not want characters walking through different lanes. He did not want them being seen at the same time. He installed the utilidors so that characters could pop up in their individual lanes. Right. He was very specific about that. Actually, my Imagineering feature, though, talks about the absolute chaos. So if you want of the costumes and characters.
Do we want to get our thoughts on this picture? Then we'll come back on that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cole, this first time you saw them because you weren't on last night. But what do you think looking at this?
So mistakes happen.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have seen this and I would have had a little, I think being the parent I am, I would have been like, oh my God, did you know they had a twin brother? Did you know? Like, I would have definitely played it off.
Right.
And looked to whoever I was with and been like, whew, that was close, or, you know, whatever. But it happens. There's things that happen, or where there's two of them, or they can't see you, and so they go somewhere else. Or
I
mean, they have headsets though. They are supposed to be coordinating with each other, and I bet someone got fired after that. To be completely honest, I think somebody probably got fired.
And I hope not.
I hope not as well.
Yeah.
But
who would be fired? The handlers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you see in both those pictures, there's two different handlers. Someone fucked up, and they're like, "Wait a second, you know." So,
I don't think the one though with the red shirt is a handler though. I think it's because the ones that are handlers wear that like beige.
No, they both had the braid. There were two of them. Oh, there were other pictures that I didn't share.
That looks like a handler. Right oh, yeah. In the red, that looks like a handler.
This right here is not a handler. That is not a handler. But no, I have another picture where there are
the other photo. That's a handler. They wear those shirts.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like Cole said, shit happens. And it's unfortunate that it happened. I hope no one lost their job over it. Lewis, your thoughts on this really quick?
I think people are missing the bigger picture here. You can have more characters out. Stop bringing out doubles. Put those actors in a different costume and bring their asses out. You don't need two goofies. Let the one guy go back in there, get his break. Bring out Genie or Aladdin or Baloo. Like, why do we need three actors playing three different goofies? That means you have actors that can play the characters. Because that other character, the other guy in that secondary Goofy, the Goofy on the run, he looked like he was like 3 feet too short for Goofy. Like, he had the roll on his neck like I do. Like, it's bad. Like, I was like, you don't even look like you fit in that costume. Like, go back inside. Like, so I think we're missing the bigger picture here. Like, we have actors that can play other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. It's there's so much behind it, and that's a really good point. You actually could just take the way to not have this not happen is not have them. You have character out for 20 minutes at a time. It's half hour at a time, you know. But people like to see Goofy. People like to see Mickey. Those are who you're going to want to see more, anyways. Goofy, Mickey, Daisy, Donald, and Pluto. Those are who you're going to want to see more.
You know what?
The new Daisy ears, they're really cute.
You know what the weirdest character thing I ever saw at Walt Disney World? I saw Tigger knock a kid over running through the land.
Really?
Piled over a 2-year-old.
But he probably didn't see him.
He didn't, but that's his handler's responsibility again.
Yeah.
Well,
if Tigger's running, what is he gonna do? Hey, Tigger, slow down! Come on.
Well, there's videos you can see. There's a video of that happened at Disneyland too. Pluto did the same thing, turned around and just plowed over a kid. It's from the 90s, and it's a video, and just
but then didn't even stop.
And just kept going. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's messed up. So
didn't even stop to make sure the kid was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how you fix the problem though, so everybody has a chance to meet Goofy? You build a new school, Toontown, in DCA.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Mickey have a home in Disney? It's a vacation home.
That's fair. That's a good point. I gotta admit, I've never seen anything like this. I understand that Disney, especially at Disneyland, they are you don't see Mickey really anywhere but Toontown and the front of the park when you first walk in. And I think that's done on purpose. We talked about this last night. You have Mickey's house where you go in and there's 3 Mickeys in there and behind different walls, and that's fine. But up in the front of the park, when you walk in, you just see those 5 main characters basically. So you're going to see up there. You're going to see them in your Disney 100 outfits. You're going to see them all in their Halloween outfits here in September. And it's just, that's what you do. You walk in and there's nowhere else. I can't even really think about.
Well, because you're in other lands.
Right. And so you're going to see Jack Sparrow. You're going to see, you're going to see.
Are you complaining about it?
No, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that normally that this doesn't happen because it's controlled. I mean, I'm not saying it's not like it's a rampant thing. I think this was an honest mistake. If it's even real, I'm still going to question if it's real. I know you said your friend took it, Sam, but I'm not 100% sure it's real.
I mean, just a Facebook friend, but not a real friend.
No,
but
I understand.
She posted pictures of her with that same Goofy immediately after.
And that's fair. I mean, that's a lot of effort to go through Photoshop to do that, just to say, hey, look what happened here. But people are buying tickets and selling them for 4 times as much. So people do crazy ass things. So it's just that kind of thing. So I want to go ahead, Lou. I know you have something to say.
I was going to say, I also think too, it's some of the unfortunate sides of DCA. They don't have a whole lot of cover.
Exactly. It's a different park too.
Once you're out on set, so to say, it's a small gap between backstage and on set. As we're Disneyland, you're going through a few different people. Like, hey, yo, don't go out there. Your boy's already out there. As we're DCA, you're getting dressed inside the Carthay Circle and walking out. There's not a whole lot of backstage.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot, and it's unfortunate it happened. And I'm sorry, my phone's going crazy. I apologize. But yeah, I want to watch Sam's feature. We could talk about her feature. We'll wrap up the show. We don't even need to do any did you know, because we talked about people being violated without certain things.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. That's what I like. I mean,
please
honestly,
don't cancel us.
Nah,
I know.
I'm already on the list.
I'll behave next time, or I won't come back.
You can cancel. You were coming back. Lewis is canceled though, because that Igernator name he's got right now.
But it's all good, and again, we could have that conversation about the other topic for an hour and a half easily, and just continue to go on about it. That's why we have Undisputed and stuff like that. So,
but let's get into Sam's Imagineering.
Let's talk Imagineering. Yeah, let's listen to this. Come up, let's go.
The Disney Parks characters experience has changed a lot over the years. Having characters interacting with guests inside the parks has gone from being something that was just kind of a passing by sort of thing to a major attraction that makes or breaks experiences in the parks for a lot of people, myself included. I am big on character interactions, and it is my favorite thing to do with my daughter. So guests have come to expect a lot more from Disney when it comes to character interactions. The first costume Disney characters were not very good. Actually, most kids would probably have nightmares looking at them now. The famous Disney attention to detail just wasn't there. They were uncomfortable to look at and uncomfortable to wear. And there was no consistency. So one could be 6.5 feet tall, another could be just under 5 feet, and it didn't matter. When the parks first opened, when Disneyland first opened in 1955, the characters greeting guests were actually borrowed from the Ice Capades. They were working on a Disney-themed show the following year, and the costumes were designed so that the performers would have the ability to skate easily. And they were never meant to be seen as close up as they were. So there were some creepy things, things that needed to change. Like Mickey had sharp teeth and mesh that the skater would be able to see through. So it wasn't really created for a theme park experience or for an actual interactive experience. Walt knew things had to change, and of course he called in his Imagineers to fix it. He basically told them that other parks can have thrill rides just like Disney could. Other parks could have live entertainment. Other parks can have trains, but no other parks could have the Disney characters. So they had to make a change. John Hench was actually in charge of costuming when the costume shop opened. And he said that the walk around characters that they had, again, were being borrowed. Disney really didn't even have like their own costumes for the studios. Everything was being borrowed. They didn't have a costuming department, really. They were just creating it. So the costume shop was created. It not only benefited the theme parks, but it also benefited the studios. So again, John Hench said that the first characters were actually awful. The ones that they made, they were awful. Like worse than the Ice Capades ones. They were so heavy that they couldn't move in them. They were being stretched out. They couldn't navigate height requirements or figure out how the logistics of that worked. The characters couldn't move their arms. For example, the earliest costume for the Three Little Pigs were made with rebar and weighed more than 70 pounds. The Seven Dwarfs performers looked through mesh in their hats because they're dwarves, so they had to be shorter, and their arms hung limply at their side, so they couldn't shake hands or do autographs or anything. John Hench is known to have said that, they came at it from different approaches. They got better. They found smaller people to wear the costumes who didn't distort the image that much. And we know that they just kept improving costuming. We got new outfits that are sensitive to the character and the land that they're in. And, we had the talking Mickey head, which is not a favorite of everyone. It's kind of creepy. So I understand why we really don't have that one anymore. But because Walt went out on that limb and said, we need our characters to be represented in our parks, and he, had John Hench take the lead for the costuming department, that started the way of trying new things in the terms of costuming. We see it now. Tiana's new costume. They are constantly improving character interactions, and that raises our expectations as guests. So things like what happened at Disneyland this week that we were just discussing shouldn't happen. We have high expectations, and they have the ability to manage those expectations. That's all I have for Imagineering this week.
You had to mention Tiana because everyone bitched about Tiana's new outfit. That's what I took out of that. I loved it, though. That was awesome.
That's all you took out of it?
No, you're absolutely right. And it's funny.
You know who designed the first Mickey costume?
Mm-mm. No.
You didn't listen to my feature then.
Should we ask Joshua?
Who designed the first Mickey costume?
John Hench? Is that what you said?
John Hench.
Oh, yeah, John Hench.
Who also painted all of Mickey's birthday portraits? John Hench.
I didn't know we were gonna have to freaking have a quiz after your.
I did not put that in there. I just thought that was something that people knew.
I'm like thinking, shit, did I miss something else? So, but you're absolutely right. And the picture you posted was the creepiest freaking picture ever. That why we were watching that.
They were so scary back in the day.
Pinocchio
those were the Ice Capades costumes.
That's crazy. Yeah, from the 50s.
So they were borrowing those. They were borrowing those to walk around the parks in.
But even talk about like when Disneyland first opened, which we're coming up on a 68th anniversary next week. Mickey and Minnie looked creepy as hell in 1955. Like scary. Like, why would you do that? But so
Mickey had sharp teeth. He looked like he was about to eat you.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, the costuming has came a long way. I hope they don't change the way that Mickey and Minnie look now to look like the Runaway Railway characters, because that will be such a step backwards, I believe, if they do that. And I hope they don't do that.
I also can't stand the animation. I cannot stand the animation that way. Like personally, like
that stick figure-ish kind of thing. It just, I don't know. It's totally different.
It's just like a flat animation style. But even like the cartoons on Disney Plus that match that animation, they're so weird. So weird.
I think, and they really downplayed some of the characters. I mean, poor Donald and Goofy, like those characters when they're on the show, I'm like, I find that Mickey and Minnie have learned to tolerate a little bit on the show because they still have the personality of Mickey and Minnie, but they don't look the same. But Donald and Goofy are like
flat characters.
Like, this is poor Goofy looks like he was left at a firehouse a couple different times. Right. I hope that Goofy doesn't raise a max. I mean, let's just be honest.
Right. So, I mean, I think a big takeaway from all this is what it comes down to is character interaction, which is huge. And it's like a pivotal part in any park. And I know we all have different, I remember when you think about it, I remember when my son proposed to his girlfriend a couple of years ago. It was right after COVID. We had no idea if Minnie could even be involved. And we walked into the Plaza Inn and we told the photographer, and Minnie was a little bit far away because it was literally like a couple of months after COVID, all that stuff. Minnie was part of it, but kind of stood back, which was great. You know what I mean? So the characters make the parks, and no matter what. And I think
Haley just yesterday was talking to me, and she's like, "Mama, do you remember that time that Daisy ducked out on the floor and played with me?" Like, yeah, I remember. I've got tons of pictures. You want me to pull the pictures up and show you, baby? Like, here,
right?
Like, kids especially, like, that is the magic for them, especially when they're like they can't ride some of the like coasters that are like super fun for us.
Right.
The characters are the magic for them, and then the ride associated with those characters. So I think that they just need to, yes, it was a mistake,
right,
but learn from it, and let's try to not have it be a consistent thing.
It even goes back to Oogie Boogie. Like Lewis was saying, he's not sure what Oogie Boogie and stuff like that. And I've seen many videos like everyone else has posted, and I've seen pictures that people on here have posted being there. That's basically a character interaction event. I mean, you get to see, last year they had the sisters, right? The Sanderson sisters, and they had Ernesto de la Cruz character looks amazing.
Oh, so good.
And just the villains. You don't see Sid. I would love to see Sid all the time in the park, but Sid from Toy Story. And the kid that played him was amazing, was just like Sid. You see Agatha and all that stuff. You don't have those interactions except at that time. So, yeah.
I'm so glad that they've moved to face characters and they're not all
for sure.
Like,
yeah.
But John Hench, actually, that's when the animatronics actually started to improve too in the parks, because John Hench was able to pull some of that into costuming and create them as a more lifelike image. Thanks, John Hench.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
John, just one thing really quick, going back on like the power of the experience with the characters. Tanya and I went on like our first girls trip, and it happened to fall on the very first day that you could, from COVID, that you could give the characters hugs and they could touch you. And I remember, like, we went to Plaza Inn, and was having breakfast.
To that?
Huh?
Did you consent to being touched?
I did, because I went in.
Did you use lube?
Oh my God!
It was not needed. And so, like, even the handler, I can't concentrate these words. Even the handler had just, you could see that she was like, Lewis, big L. Take a deep breath. I can't concentrate. Thank you. Don't get rid of him. But anyways, what I was saying,
he got rid of himself.
the power of that connection is what I was getting at.
Right.
And even the handlers were just like the vibe backstage, and we were chatting, and I got emotional just getting to like hug Minnie and get up and take like a fun picture, and we pose, and Daisy and the selfies and all those things that we weren't able to do for so long. And even as adults, and we didn't have any children with us, and the whole day was just us being goofy and searching out those characters, and that we could hug and tell them thank you, and that we had missed them, and whatever. But
that's what it's all about.
You're so cute and precious, Cole.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I think that.
Okay, Big Al, you can come back now. Big Al, hello.
So I maybe he bounced, but I want to go really quick. We're over an hour, but we are coming up to like Monday is Disneyland's 68th birthday. Disneyland's kind of what started all this. Disneyland is the reason that we do this. We do these shows. Disneyland brought us all together. Or Disney has brought us all together. I would say Disneyland because that's what started my love for Disney was Disneyland. So I want to go around the room really quick, then we'll wrap it up with that. But I kind of asked last night a little bit, Sam, I know you haven't been at Disneyland, but you've been at Walt Disney World, which is still an extension of Walt. What do the parks mean to you on this anniversary of?
So the parks mean to me the opportunity to take creative expression to a completely different level. Walt went in and did something that nobody else was doing and created an entirely unique experience. And he didn't care what anybody had to say. He had his dream. One man's dream, right? He had his dream. He took that opportunity to create magic and happiness and joy and fun. So something that has had such a long lasting impact like that is something that should be celebrated.
I agree. Perfect.
That's what I want to do. I want to create, that's what we do.
Yeah,
you guys should be listening to our podcast in like 50 years.
Absolutely. You better be. Louis, how about you, buddy?
I'm the same as yesterday. I mean, it's escapism. It's a chance to just step out of the shoes I'm wearing today and step in a different pair of shoes and just kind of not necessarily forget, but for that day, forget everything.
Okay. Cole, how about you?
I was going to say something similar to Big Al. It comes down to me that I am able to, it's the one place in the world that nothing, when you step through that park, nothing else exists. You are present with the people that you're with. You are sharing stories, that core memories. You're trying new things. It's always a different adventure. And also what Sam said is being able to just immerse yourself in the talent of others, like the passion. You feel the energy of those Imagineers. You feel everything that they have created, whether they are still walking this earth or they have gone elsewhere. You feel it. And it just really, there's no other place like it. Whether it's, and I don't mean just Disneyland, Walt Disney World, like all the parks. Like it's the one place that we can go and no outside world exists, and that we're able to really appreciate what is around us and what they have done for us. Yeah. What about you?
I thought I asked last night and I didn't answer last night because I was thinking about it today. And, for me, it's different. It's all those things you guys just said, but if you guys listen to our shows and know how the last couple of years have been for myself personally, it's been, a word to say everything it is a lot, because I've been there 4 or 5 times in this past 2 years, and it was different than any time I've been with my family, and I met so many people and friends and made more friends and just these trips. And I'm squirreling, but it's emotional for me. I'm not going to lie. It's because I've made
opportunities to make new memories.
I know,
every single time.
But for me, it's so much more. And without getting into too much detail, if I didn't have this, I wouldn't have what I have now. And the people that know that what I'm talking about understand that. And I love Disneyland. I've been there since I'm from LA. I went there every fucking week when I was a kid. I've been there a couple hundred times. These last 5 or 6 times I've been there, I mean, I love going with my kids. I love watching all of them grow up there and fall in love with it. But to go there by myself as an adult and to take this in, and you need that escape. And those people that have helped me create that escape and create this love for everything, and just I'm going to stop because I'm going to get upset. I'm not get upset, but it's everything to me.
Emotional, yeah.
No, I am, and I mean, and there's a lot more to it. I mean, we're 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away from season 4, which obviously celebrates the death of Chris. Which still, my head always just goes, and I'm going to stop because So it means everything to me. I wouldn't have any of you if I didn't have Disney. If there wasn't Disney, you guys have been and became my family, and I love you all so very much. And I think we should end the show on that because I'm probably will start crying. So happy birthday!
We love you.
Happy birthday, Disneyland! Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Louie. Thank you, Sam. And until next time, we hope you have a magical day. Good night, everyone.
Come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.